Our show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. We got a big one for you all tonight. 7:30, the one and only Reginald Nunee Johnson from the Flats Podcast. He's going to join us. He's going to talk mainly about some Hornville football stuff and the rivalry of Hornville and Destrehan. He's a former high Hornville football player, former alum of Hornville. 8 o'clock. We're going to have Coach Ulysses Frontha. He used to be a coach at Destrehan for football and basketball. He's going to join us to talk about the Destrehan side of things and the game this upcoming Friday night. Then at 8:30, East Jefferson and Riverdale will play for a district championship on Halloween night. Coach Brian Glover, the head coach of the East Jefferson Warriors, will join us to talk about, his coaching career a little bit and the upcoming game this Thursday night. But as you can see, I'm joined by my co-host, the one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And also log on to the hashitoutshow.com. We got a great show for you. Before we go any further, we'd like to dedicate this show to two big time people in the state of Louisiana that dedicated their lives to not just to the love of sports, but in journalism as well. First of all, a big shout out to the family of Amir Abdul Rahim. He is also the younger brother of, and I think he's the younger or older brother of Sharif Abdul Rahim. He has Louisiana ties because he actually used to play ball for Southeastern Louisiana, and he also was a two-time all-conference player for the Lions. So he did a great job, been an assistant over years, finally became a head coach at South Florida and turned the entire program around in his
Yep.
first season as they went to the NCAA tournament. What a year for that. And South Florida a long time ago used to be bottom of the conference, but for him to turn it around instantly is amazing. But lost his life early, complications from an operation. And I'm like, man, very, very heartbreaking. And he will always be a Southeastern Lion. He will be missed, especially what he was bringing to the table on the basketball court. Rest in peace to Amir Abdul Rahim. And finally, also a big time shout out to the family of the legendary Eric Polson. Eric Polson has been a part of New Orleans for over 40 years, and he passed away Saturday after a a up and down fight with cancer. And I tell you, for a long time, remembered Eric Paulson when I was a kid.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know, he hosts a show called PM Magazine on WWL, and he's been an anchor for a long time. Worked with the greats of the late Andre Trevine, and also Sally Ann Roberts. But he has been in that anchor desk and working at the station for a long time. And you know, it's going to be sad. They did a second line for him tonight.
Still going on.
Everything is still going on right now. This is a celebration for this man because he really touched a lot of people across the city, and it's something else that we lose. And this is starting to remind me of 2020, man. All the people we lost. I mean, it's starting to be 2020 all over again the way it's looking because we lost Ed Daniels, and now we lose Eric Paulson. So our prayers going out to the family of Amir Abdul Rahim and the family of Eric Paulson. Rest in peace.
All right. Most definitely. Woo. Got some big games this coming week, VK. But
Yeah.
before we get to these high school games, let's talk LSU. Let's talk at LSU. Let y'all fans down because I don't know what happened in the second quarter. I just know total collapse. That's all I can say. Nussmeier, 3 interceptions. Defense couldn't stop anything in the second half. Just a total collapse from LSU. Period. VK.
I still don't know what happened. They had a double digit lead and had Texas A&M dead to rights. And then Coach Elko makes the adjustment to go to second string quarterback who gave him a huge spark. And that guy had a huge second half. But LSU might not making that adjustment the second half. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. It is absolute coaching. Absolute coaching. Because how in the world you don't adjust that? How in the world you don't know there's a second quarterback? That's what Texas A&M. They've been rotating them too most of the year. You know, sometimes they go with the man with the hot hand, but sometimes they got to go with the person to come in if that other person ain't doing what they got to do. It's been a two quarterback system majority of the year. How you don't know that? And at the same time, for them not making the adjustment, for Texas A&M to explode like they exploded, they might go with that guy the rest of the year the way he was looking. I don't know, but at the same time, did
Well,
a
he
lot.
he started some games due to the original starter being hurt.
He did. Now from Texas A&M, especially defensively, give them a lot of credit to offensive line. Disappointing in the second half, but a lot of adjustments for Mike Elko and his squad. It's just the fact I think the LSU coaching did a poor job in that second half, and I think LSU might have fumbled away their chances to go to the college football playoff.
They're not. They're not.
Not totally out of it, but I'm like
Not
this:
out of it yet.
you got two losses now. That's a lot. And the thing is, I think the most in this 12-team playoff they might take is two. I don't know about a three. I'll be shocked if they take a team with three, but I think you gotta have two the most. And I think now Alabama might try to play spoiler in a couple weeks or whatever. But I know LSU still got opponents ahead, but they got to get it together, man. Because I'm telling you, that is a huge. Not saying this is Texas A&M is a really good team, and I give them that, and they got a chance to win the SEC. But now they got to really stand up and get it together because this was a game LSU could have won on Saturday.
It was a game LSU should have won.
Should have,
Def-
could have, or
but
should have, but they should have.
they got out coached, plain and simple. It's plain and simple. Brian Kelly got out coached. Wasn't I don't care, don't like Brian Kelly. He got out coached. He got out coached. All that talent on the field got out coached. Nussmeier, I never saw him play that bad of a half. It was bad. And defensively, I just don't know what to say. They couldn't stop a running quarterback this game. A running quarterback. You couldn't keep containment on them. And for them to say that they never even prepared for him, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I think you need to have that option open to prepare for this guy because he has played in these games, and they didn't even do that. They are not eliminated from the playoffs yet,
Not
but
yet,
the
but two
slant the
losses a lot.
chances are slim to none. And the game next week against Alabama will definitely be a most definitely a playoff eliminator, elimination game, definitely. So you have to win out just to have a chance in making it. But man, that there, that loss there, that one hurts because it's a game they should have won. Looked good in the first half. You know, they missed a couple field goals and a bad snap on a field goal. But other than that,
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you look at
it was
this.
bad.
And you look.
That's like
Yeah, it was. And you look at LSU schedule, and it's not easy. The Bama game's not easy. I think none of these next four is not easy. I think the Florida game they should win, but at the same time, they better not fool around. They need to go in that thing, take care of business. But Bama's first. A good thing they got a week off to think about this whole thing to be prepared. And I tell you, like I said, they got Florida, then they got the last two at home, and it's not easy. The Vandy game is not easy because the way they played on Saturday, I'm like this. Y'all gonna give them people some respect. I'm telling you, I said it myself, and right now I'm proving right.
stop pointing that
There,
finger.
I'm being proved. I'm pointing my finger because I'm pointing it.
No, you point your finger, threaten us.
I'm not threatening. It's
Yeah,
not
it
a
is.
threat.
If I put my finger in your face, what is that?
Look,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I want to do. Look,
No, you're not.
whatever. But plain and simple, I'm like this, man. I'm being proven right now. Vandy is right now the big spoiler in the SEC. Big spoiler. And another win is coming. They're gonna definitely be bowl eligible. But at the same time, another huge victory coming up. They still got two big ones, huge ones on the schedule. So don't take them lightly. And then Oklahoma, they should win that one, but that ain't gonna be easy either. They shouldn't take the Sooners not lightly at all. But LSU has to win out if they're gonna have an opportunity.
They ain't got no choice.
Got no choice.
No choice. Now, let's move to the NFL. Your New Orleans Saints, once again, another loss as they go to 2-6 on their record. And I just don't see a team that really cares. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But my question is to you: why did Spencer Rattler get benched? That is my question. I don't understand why he got benched. I mean, did he throw interceptions?
Good thing George Peppers is not in here right now. Cause guess what I'm gonna do right now? I think it's time to get a little real up in here now. All right, plain and simple. I think Dennis Allen is not fond of any African American quarterback.
Whoa!
Let's be real. Come on, Jameis Winston, who was healthy at a time. You refuse to start him. You refuse to put him in the game. Look what happened to Jameis this past Sunday. All I'm gonna tell you, had probably the best game of his career. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait when the Saints of Cleveland come here. But I think it's the fact that, come on now. This dude was waiting to play and you don't want to start him. That's a problem. Now you have Spencer Rattler, who is half African American, half white. And it seemed like you don't have no patience with him. It just showed me right then and there. You ain't fine for. Then you bring in Derek Carr anyway. After the time with, I'm telling you, the dude ain't fond of African American quarterback. He want his own people in there. I hate to say it. I'm not calling Dennis Allen racist. I'm just saying he does not have a patience for the African American quarterback. I'm seeing it right now. You pulled Rattler not once, but twice in 2 weeks. See, you ain't got nothing right now. Plain and simple, you ain't got nothing right now. And I don't want to hear no more from George Peppers talking about the players quitting on Dennis Allen. The organization It's failed. I'm going to say what that lady said and do the right thing. When they burn down, say, burn it down, burn it down. Burn it all the way down. They should have been did it, and I'm gonna still say it. Matt Moscona went off on
He went off on
Mickey Loomis.
Mickey Loomis, boy. Everything he said was correct.
Everything. I got to see the whole thing myself. I seen it in my couple seconds. Bruh. Like I said, I think it's a lot with Dennis Allen, bruh. And I'm sorry, Dennis Allen should have been out the door. It's just the fact this dang on loyalty thing has been too much. Gail Benson, win. Pull the trigger. It's nothing wrong with it. Pull the trigger. It's okay.
Let me hop in right quick.
Go ahead.
Let me hop in.
Go ahead.
So the situation with Jameis to me was just, what's up, TC? What's happening? It was just ridiculous. Like I said before, Jameis went 5-2 as a starter with Sean Payton, and he got his ACL torn against the Bucks. So he's out that whole season. Sean Payton retires. He's back with Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen makes him the starter. And everything offensively was not Jameis' fault. Jameis gets hurt again. When Jameis is healed, Jameis doesn't even return as a starter. He's a backup for the rest of the year. I never saw a quarterback who gets injured not get a shot to come back and not start. He went with Andy Dalton the rest of the year. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I knew then there was something he had against Jameis. Don't know what it was, but he had something. That should have never happened. We have Rattler, okay? And he starts Rattler. All right. And you benched him this last game for what? And then you got these Fox commentators, Mark Sanchez, another guy, sounding like complete idiots. Yeah, man, we put in Jake Haynard and give the Saints a spark to the offense, and they need this and that. Man, shut the hell up. What the hell did that offense do? Not a goddamn thing. Ain't nothing happened. Rattler didn't play bad. Couple high throws maybe. Other than that, what he got benched for? I really would like to know. Why, Dennis Allen, did you bench Spencer Rattler? Why? This organization has failed. We got old players. We $72 million over the cap. It's just horrible. It's horrible. Horrible from the top to the bottom. This thing needs to be redone and redone in a hurry because this is just horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't even get excited to watch the Saints on TV. I can really just do something else and not watch them. That's how bad this organization is right now. Just straight up horrible. I mean, Alvin Kamara gets a 2-year extension. He's 30 years old. Cam Jordan, he still got a year left on his contract. 35. Mario Davis, 35. Tyrann Mathieu. Don't get me started on that one. 32. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's just old. Just old. And you're $72 million over the cap. I just don't get it. I really don't get it, man.
Team ARP.
I know and yeah, the O-line's injured. I get that too. The O-line is injured. I get it. But goodness gracious. Let's bench Spencer Rattler and make him a scapegoat, right? That's what we're gonna do. Spencer, your bench. Jake, get in. You the scapegoat. You the reason why. Don't get me started, bro. It's just horrible.
Well. Besides the fact that the Saints sucked,
They sucked.
They sucked. The big positive thing on Sunday, besides Jameis Winston, how about that Jaden Daniels? My goodness.
I want to get back to Jameis Winston for what he did in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because Jameis should be our quarterback, without a doubt. He should still be a Saint. Yeah, he want to come back to Dennis Allen. Ain't no way. But, man, Cleveland got the best backup they can get. And how things going with Deshaun Watson, they might let him go into the year. I don't know. But if Jameis has a productive year, then it's going to be. But, man, November 17th cannot come soon enough. I'm telling you,
Here's
I
the
gotta be in
scary.
that dome.
Here's the scary thing about Jameis. Here's the scary thing.
Oh, here go his Jameis hate. Here he
No,
comes.
no, 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 no. My Jameis hate been gone.
Okay.
I felt sorry for that man when he was here. I really did. And you see how I explained it out. So plain and simple, with Jameis now, the scary thing about Jameis, and I'm gonna say this: what if Cleveland go on a run? They go on a run. Remember last year, Deshaun got hurt. Joe Flacco
Flacco.
steps in and got them to the playoffs. Potentially might happen again because Jameis looked pretty good Sunday, man. Especially came back and redeemed himself, man. So we gonna see. Could be a nice run now. Now you look at Jaden Daniels. What a man! Look, the Commanders. They got a great future. My goodness, my goodness. That Hail Mary was something else. And all I know, that cornerback Tyreek Stevenson, I'm surprised he didn't get his pink slip after Sunday after what he pulled.
They can do it
Oh
again.
my God.
They can
No,
do that again.
people like that. I'm sorry. You get the pink slip. You gotta go. No. That's that's a no-no. You are taught in all levels of football how game planning, everything, especially near the end of the game. For you being a pro, and no, get your last chick, get the pink slip, get out of here. We'll get another corner. That's just what it is. But also, finally, a big congratulations going to the University of Colorado Buffaloes. They are bowl eligible in Deion Sanders' second year, and they're still in the running for the Big 12 championship. So, congratulations to the University of Colorado.
Congrats to Tulane. Yeah.
Yeah, Tulane too. Can't forget about Tulane.
Congrats
I,
to Tulane.
I think they're bowl eligible as well, but they got another big win. They're still in the running for the American Conference Championship.
They got a couple big games coming up in that conference. So they went out. They got a chance to host the conference championship for a third straight year.
Man, it's gonna be sweet if they do that. It's gonna be real sweet. I know you had that look on your face about Dion, but at the same, I had to put that in there, man, because that's big for him. And Colorado is really getting better. Just to be honest, Tulane is getting there too. You know what I'm saying? And big ups to Nickel State winning their homecoming over the weekend, man. Big ups to them and everything, man. Yeah, they won. They won. Southeastern came this close. Lost the Incarnate Word by 8 points. Woo! Give Incarnate Word the Southern Conference Championship now after what happened on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Nichols probably could have a conference championship if they didn't do a certain quarterback wrong and they came back to beat their behinds a year later.
You was a Nichols hater, man.
I'm not a Nichols hater. I just keep it real.
No,
You
I'm
said
not.
keep it real, right? I keep it real.
You
We know
keeping
what
it real.
happened.
You keeping it real. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. And I went out there to a Nichols game, and I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the Nichols fans, to be honest with you, kind of feels the same way you feel.
I know they do.
Real talk, because they just feel, and they love Rebo, but they said they just wish Rebo would have handled the situation much better than it was, because they knew how good Lindsey Scott was. They knew it, and it's like, what the hell we were
All
thinking?
these games, all of a sudden, Lindsey Scott gets benched and he's putting up numbers. Like, what the hell? Just get benched. Man, Lindsey Scott came back a year later and say bench this.
You sure did.
Nah. got in corner word to the semifinals of the FCS playoffs.
You sure did. And but that's my alma mater. Tim Rebo is a great coach, but at the same time, I agree with you. I wish he should have handled the Lindsey Scott situation a little bit better. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, but, TC, I saw that score. St. James 35, Donaldsonville 6. I saw what y'all did, bro.
Congratulations. Congratulations to St. James, district champions.
Yes, indeed. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have Reginald Nunee Johnson of the Flats podcast joining us right here on the Hash It Out Show. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barreto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. Joined by my co-host, VK Jones. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this Friday night, pretty much for the district championship
Yes,
or the
sir.
share of the district championship, it is Hornville versus Destrehan. And we have a former high school. Keep getting messed up, VK. I don't know what's wrong with me. We have a former Hornville football player, but
Yeah.
he is a part of the Flash Podcast, Big Time Podcast show that y'all need to check out. We got the one and only Reginald Nunee Johnson. Nunee, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? How y'all doing today?
We
Good,
good,
we good,
man.
man. Appreciate you
Good.
coming.
Nunee,
What's up, man?
I want you to talk about Coach Boyne and the job he and his staff has done in year one with his Hornville Tigers football program.
All praise to Coach Boyne, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, Coach Boyne has really flipped the entire script. I'll be honest with you, he did way better than what I thought he would do. The entire aura of the West Bank of St. Charles Parish is up. Is up right now. Everybody, like, he got all those kids to actually buy into the program, buy into the culture. He changed the entire culture around. Maybe like a month ago, we actually had some players on from the football team on our podcast, and we asked them about some things that they thought were different. And I mean, just the workouts. Like, they were talking about the workouts and how different the workouts were with Coach Bourne compared to the previous coaches that we had. The practices, how intense the practices are. We had our first little just starting this new thing where we have no little tailgate at the beginning of the season where you get to meet the players, the cheerleaders, and everybody. And went to that and look back in the end zone. Some of the players were in the end zones doing one-on-ones. And he's looking like, look, I want him to come, interact with everybody, but you can't be mad at it. They're
Right,
working, man. So he's definitely changed the culture of Homeville High School, and I think Bourne's just an old school coach.
right.
I personally, I came up under Coach Valden. Coach Bourne's been under Coach Robichaux, two real similar coaching styles, old school, everything, just coaching styles, off-season programs. All of that has always been similar with both Homeville and Destrehan. Those previous years, the late 90s, early 2000s, early 2010s. And he came on the road show. So he basically just took that, he brought that and brought it to these new age kids, which I think that's what they need. I've been saying that those kids need a old school coach that's just gonna be hard on them. A lot of kids I know that tried to come back and play. Kids that quit, weren't playing, came back and like, coach, I want to play. He's like, look, you want to play? Cool, come back. We'll get you in weightlifting. You got to show me. You got to work
Yep,
out for this semester and next semester up until uh spring, and then when you come in, you got to show me that you want it. It's not no I want to play coming. You coming in and getting the helmet and shoulder pads. You gonna work for it, and you gonna show me that you want it. So big ups to Coach Bourne, man. He's definitely changed the whole landscape of Homeville High football at the moment.
definitely. He's done that. How big of is it that he's come in and he's actually has gone out into the community and has talked to people? I've seen him in a barbershop out there.
Hmm.
Man, he is in the community. How big is that? 'Cause I
I
think it's
mean,
something that y'all really needed.
that's definitely something we needed. I mean, just these days is different, compared to back when we were in high school, and you need that to kind of get everybody behind you. I mean, and the position that he was in, to where a lot of people weren't behind Homeville High these past few years, bro. If
Right.
you go to you've been to a Homeville High game these past few years, man. I mean, I was pulling up at 6:55 and walking right into where, back in the day that wasn't the thing. So
Correct.
he's kind of, he's basically got the community behind him, and he's backed it up with his coaching, with the record, with the play of the kids. They've been putting up points like crazy, and he just changed, like I said, he changed the aspect, changed the whole culture.
You just spoke about the past couple of years. You go to a Hornville game, you get that 650 and walk right in. Destrehan put out some flyers saying they're opening the gates to park at 2 o'clock. This how it was back in the day when you
Hmm.
played and so far. So for them to do that, it's pretty much saying that it's getting back to what it used to be. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be out there at 1 o'clock. So, like, all right, like we making plans right now to get together, man, and tailgate. I'll be out there at 1:30, balling and stuff. So, I mean, I think it's just it seems it's worth it this year, bro.
Yeah,
I can say that. It's actually worth it. These past 4 3 4 years, man, it ain't been worth it. If I'm gonna say this, I'm 34, bro. I've been to home high school since I was 4 or 5 years old. But
yeah,
I can remember, 2000, I was 9 10. That's the times when I actually remember the games. And I don't think I've ever felt like, whether me watching, playing after I left, when I was in college, coming back, I've never felt like, man, Destrehan's gonna whoop us this year. Like, except for like these past few years, it's like, all right, we know we're gonna lose. So, I mean, the swag is back, man. We kind of like, remember what they were saying, Miami, when they had Jacoby Harris, like, the U is back.
yeah.
Homeville, I think Homeville is back. Win or lose, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, in the past 2 years, we've been outscored 85-10.
Yeah.
From by Destrehan. So that's never been the case from years. From It's always been a, no matter, even though Destrehan, like you said, you talked about it, Destrehan has beat us 11 of the last 12.
Nevertheless, 12. Yeah.
And out of those out of those games, I remember one time, I forgot the kid's name. He played for the Saints. He went to Oregon. I forgot his name. Play receiver.
Wide receiver. I know you talking about. I
Yeah,
can't think of his
that
name.
year
Yeah.
they played, and I mean, like, they destroyed us. Scored maybe like 65-14 or something. But other than that, bro, it's always been, even if maybe a 35-21 game, it's always been a real tight game. Somebody pull away, Destrehan will pull away at the end. Somebody get hurt or something like that. That's really happened. So, uh, outside of these past few years, it's been like, we know we're gonna lose. Now that's not the case. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, look, it's a shoo-in. Homeville's been putting up all these points. We're gonna win. It's not saying it's a shoo-in. Like, it's gonna be a toss-up.
Yeah.
Whoever is gonna come out to whoever wants it more.
All right.
And I said this last year. There's a dude. He's the cook for he's the cook slash super fan for Destrehan. His name is Kiwan Wiley.
Uh-huh.
Y'all may know Wiley, always talking about Destrehan University. He coined that term, Destrehan University. And we always talk. And I told him last year, I'm like, bro, listen, this was before Bourne was even hot. I'm like, man, listen, next year is going to be a toss up. I said, I think the pendulum's about to swing. Next year is going to be a toss up. Whoever wins that game, I think after that, Homeville is going to take a couple, and it's going to go back to what it used to be. It's going to go back and
Back and
forth.
forth.
So
Terrence Strickland and Deron Davis said that wide receiver was Kirk Merritt. That's who
Kirk
it is.
Merritt, yeah,
Yep.
Kirk Merritt, that's who it was. So yeah, and that's the last. I mean, Kirk Merritt had a field day on us, and I remember that game. And before that, the last time I remember when it really was a blowout, like Jai Eugene. That was actually my sophomore year. I played, and that was a close game up until like
That
the
was
fourth
close.
quarter.
To the fourth
Yeah,
quarter. I was there. Yeah.
Jai Eugene went in there, drunk that Michael Jordan's secret sauce, secret water, or whatever, and just came out and had a field day on us like the end of the third, fourth quarter. But other than that, like I said, it's always been a real tight and real barn burners.
Before I pass it to VK, speak about the rivalry itself, because it ain't like y'all, Hornby and Destrehan, really don't like each other. Everybody know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speak about the rivalry itself, man.
I mean, it's really it's a real love hate relationship. Like we cool up until that week, man. If you see it, if you look on Facebook, you see the back and forth. I'm talking like soon as East St. John game was over Friday, it started up like we were going back and forth. You see everybody, especially me and the dude I just named Wilder, we go back and forth all the time. I mean, majority of the time, like I said, we know everybody. So majority of the time, it's what's up. But as soon as we see each other, look, I don't rock with you. Holler at me Saturday.
Yeah.
From Saturday to Saturday, bro. Don't talk to me like I don't want to talk to you. It's beef, So and it's been like that. Even with us when we played, a lot of the guys, well, we played against Dexterham. We knew them. We've
Yeah.
been playing against them, or sometimes they want to going to school. Like Demars Johnson went to school with us all the way up until like 6th, 7th grade. Then he left, and went to the other side. So like we knew people, but when that game comes, listen, I don't care who you are. I'm trying to hurt you.
That's it.
So
BK.
Reginald, man, good to have you on the show and everything, giving us some good knowledge and history of Hanville High School. And I know a good bit about it because I knew people that went to Hanville. My family knew some people and stuff like that and everything. So it's a lot of deep history. With this rivalry in itself, making kind of a return to hopefully the way it used to be on Friday. Did you ever thought to this day that you would get a coach like Coach Boyne, and then not just that? Do you think Coach Boyne has a little bit of an advantage with him used to be an assistant in Destrehan and kind of having a little inside track of what Destrehan kind of does?
I mean, yeah, but they also have an advantage too because they know what he's taken. They know what he took to Homeville. He basically took their system, brought it to Homeville. So they both know exactly, what's going to go on between each other. And what was the first question you asked? My bad, I kind of like
Uh,
talk.
I was asking like, do you think like the rivalry is going to get back to like the way it used to? Do you feel as it's going to be hopefully a return to what it was? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think it will. I mean, I can say, bro, it's high school football as a whole. I'm gonna say in River Parish isn't what it used to be. That's I mean, we just lay that out. It's not, back in the day you had the East St. John's, the Lutches, the West St. John's, Homevilles, Destrehan. You had all these teams that were all top tier and like more. It seemed like now it's kind of switch back to like the New Orleans. New Orleans is really like that premier where you see the cars and the Warren East and all. They have these real big games. But as for getting back to, I guess you can say just being real competitive and bringing out those big crowds that we had, yeah, I think it's really about to flip and become that right now. Homeville needs to win though. I'm gonna say that we got to win. If not this year, next year, which I honestly think this is coming from my mouth. I'm gonna say it right now. I think after this year, whatever Homeville does this year, win or lose, I think the next 2 years, Homeville's taking it. I'm gonna say that right now.
Hmm.
I think the next 2 years, Homeville take it. So if we can win this year, I honestly think we can take three in a row. But that's what we need. We need for it to be a back and forth to where it's competitive. Because I mean, you don't want to keep going to games. Like I say, the past 3, 4 years, bro, we knew we were going to lose. We were just there. My pride had me there. Anybody
Yeah.
knows me, know I talk trash all day. I will represent Homeville every way that I can. All right. And my pride had me there, basically. I'm not about to let y'all see. I'm not gonna. Nah, I'm gonna talk my trash and look. We gonna win the whole time. I know. Look, we don't have a chance. And like I say, what 85-10, we had no chance. But and your first question, I remember you did. So you say, did you think that we would get a coach like Coach Bourne?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought we were gonna get a younger guy. I thought that's probably what we needed at first. There's a certain person that I thought, certain Homeville High alum that I thought we were gonna get. I knew that him and Bourne were in the runs for it, but I'll be honest with you. And I'm close with that Homeville High alum, but I'll be honest with you, I'm fine. I'm fine with the way it went out. It came out. If Bourne continues his success for the next few years, and I think he will. I'm fine with the high. I think that's what Zach said. I think that's what we needed. That old school coach, and Bourne brought exactly what we needed.
We had a guest on our show that's linked ties to the River Parish,
No, he
and
knows him. He knows him.
yeah,
He knows him.
Nick Campbell came on, made a proclamation, a bold prediction that this is going to be Hanville's year to beat Destrehan. I was like, I talked with Jared. Jared was like, I want to see like the app, and I see Hanville myself in person, and I'm like, okay, I see the change there. I
Yeah.
see some things going there. And the way the wins are starting to rack up, and we had him in the game of the week, I said, I think Nick Campbell about to prove us out of lie. I think he's about to. I was like, oh Lord.
So
So,
listen. So I do know Nick. That's my cousin. All right. So I
okay,
know what he
okay.
wrote. That's my cousin. But I'm gonna say this. Nick was just trying to get a soundbite at that time. I would have never made that prediction at the time. I was watching. I remember when he said that, bro. Listen, I would have never made that prediction at the time that Nick made that prediction. All right. Nick was trying to cause some controversy. Nick was trying to get a soundbite, something. But I would have never made it. But look, I'm with you. I'm with you now, Nick. I'm 100% behind you now. Homeville's gonna win this year. But let me just say, at that time, I would have made that prediction, man.
I think that thing is the two craziest bold predictions we have had. Nick Campbell's and mine about Vanderbilt football. So we're both proven right so
Well,
far. So
if you listen, if you predicted Vanderbilt, I got to give you your props on that. I'm gonna say that, you know.
but
But
it, yeah.
but like I said, man, I this year's gonna be a toss up. It's gonna be whoever won it, man. Trust me, I'm trying. I'm texting right now. I'm texting kids, texting my little cousin, man. Listen, y'all can win. Y'all know y'all can. Y'all got to go in there with the confidence, you know. And like I said, this year's gonna be a toss up. Next few years, people don't know we have 31 sophomores on our team.
Yeah.
Wow.
31. Our team's very young. Our running backs are senior. The two running backs behind them are both sophomores. You know, one of them got hurt a few weeks ago. He broke his leg. He's gonna be starting next year. Right now, we got Patrick Jackson Jr. from West St. John. His son is our second string. He's a sophomore right now, and he's pretty nice. Watching him run, he's real quick, shifty. I like what I see, from him just being in 10th grade. So we're gonna lose CJ, but we're gonna come back with a two-headed monster next year, and we're gonna have that two-headed monster for 2 more years. Our quarterback right now is a sophomore, so I think we're gonna be in a good place, man. I'm gonna say that for the
You
next few
was
years.
you were saying a little bit about the River Parishes. I think the last couple of years we had 6 River Parish teams made the state championship game, 3 winning the title. But you're
Hmm.
looking at it this year, this might be the deepest we've seen in the River Parish in a long, long time. When you look at not just Destrehan and Hanville, when you look at St. James, you look at Lutcher, you look at St. Charles Catholic, you're looking at all these teams in the River Parish down the line, including E.D. White and everything else. This is really a deep year for the River
Yeah.
Parish more than anything else.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a while, man. The last time I remember us being when I played, I remember we had Lutcher, West St. John, St. James, and Homeville. We were all in the semifinals, if I'm correct, the '05 year. We all went in the semifinals at the same time. We all ended up. If I'm correct, I think Lutcher went that year. If
Yes.
I'm, they were the only
Yes.
ones, but that was we were real deep. You always had 3, 4 teams from the River Parish in the quarterfinals at the same time. So I mean, if that's the way I see what St. James is doing. Riverside is pretty
Riverside.
good right now. Yeah. Duran has a young team at West St. John, but they're buying into the program there. So I can
That's a
see him.
scary team.
Yeah, I can see him flipping them around in a few years. Of course, we have Bourne. Destrehan has been Destrehan, and I honestly think that they're going to continue being Destrehan. Um, St. Charles Catholic. St. Charles Catholic has been real good. I think St. Charles Catholic is going to be in the ship getting real soon. So, hey, I'm all for it, man. It's one of the best things back in the day. We used to argue about, where the best football came from.
Right.
We used to always say it was the River Parish, and we had muscle behind it. We were able to actually say it because it honestly could have been true at that time, to where the best football in the Louisiana came out of River Parish.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Very good football, and on top of that, the fan base. And I'm like, I think the city of New Orleans had to learn a lot of lessons when they make visits out there, not just that to take a look at those teams, not just going to the games at Hineville or whatever. When they come there and seeing how deep the fan base is, and I'm like, man, this River Parish is real. I'm like, yeah, that's
So
that's what New Orleans was way back in the '80s.
I had a stepbrother. My stepbrother, bro. My stepbrother played for St. Aug.
Mm-hmm.
Back
Wow.
in what 06, 07, and we played them. I remember we beat them like 36-6. And I'm sitting there just talking to like him and my stepmom, bro, and they were talking about how when they pulled up, how it's just so many people, and they were just looking like, man, these boys are big, and the whooping we gave them is like it was just different from what they were seeing. I'm like, that was at one time I remember this. At one time, Homeville had it to where this was a while back, but Homeville had it, bro. You played them like everybody who played Homeville the next week, they lost again. It was like they were put it on you so bad, bro. You're so banged up. So, but I think the River Parish, is gonna come back. A lot of young talent, a lot of young talent, and I think with Homeville finally coming back, and I mean it's on us too as parents. I've been saying this for the longest. The I can say the gap between Homeville and Destrehan, people want to know why has it been so different. Recreation football has
Right.
been the major factor in the difference between Homeville and Destrehan these years. And I think they're doing their best to try and revamp the recreation. We got a travel team now, next gen, St. Charles next gen. That's 707. So they're trying to do all kind of things to revamp the recreation. And that's, I mean, like I said, that's been the major difference in the side. Because if you look at that Destrehan team that won a state championship a few years ago, Jai Eugene's the quarterback. Them boys were playing together for St. Rose travel team since 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
From 5 and 6 all the way up to high school, them kids play together. That's why they were so good. And look on our side, I don't know. I can't tell you what was the issue, but on our side, bro, we were having, we had Kelowna, Homeville, Louisville, and Boots. At one time when I was young, we every town had its own team. That's the entire river road of West Bank, St. Charles Parish, Kelowna,
Mm-hmm.
Homeville, Louisville, and Amer, excuse me. And the few years it was just Louisville and Amer. So you had Kelowna, Homeville, Louisville, and Amer. We had 4 towns combined into one team. And I ended up coaching for a few years, and that ended up splitting us. So we had Kelowna home, we had a Lula Namer. So they we kind of tried to do our best to try and help the kids out and start bringing them up, teaching them everything. But I haven't coached them. I've coached for a few years, like after the storm. But I think that's the major issue. And as long as we keep getting these kids in the recreation, getting them started early, and I think that's gonna be the best thing for the parish, not just Homeville.
Well, looking at, looking at things with Destrehan, I know Marcus Scott personally. His family actually married to my second cousin. So, what I'm saying? So it's personal to me, but at the same time, he's done some great work. He's worked hard to
Mhm.
where he is now as a state champion and continuing to maintain that program. But also, I know as a player at Hanville, you really take pride in it. I'm a St. Augustine alumnus and just proud of it. I can
And
always say that.
nobody's prouder than people go to St. Aug.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not the bragger, but we have a winning record against Hanville.
no,
That's
like,
that's the only thing. But it
y'all are
is what
so
it is.
proud. Y'all are so proud. It's aggravating how proud. I'll be honest with
Oh,
you,
they do get
bro.
aggravated. They do.
The
They
people
do.
that I know that go to St. Aug, like St. Aug is a college. I guess you can say the way that
Yes, it
people went to
is.
St. Aug act, about St. Aug. So y'all definitely a very proud school.
Y'all should look at the new facility now. It looks literally like a college now.
Yeah,
Woo,
yeah.
Lord. But at the same time, tell us about your years at Hanville and how it made you the man that you are now.
So, I mean, I think my years at Homeville is probably one of the reasons I'm such a super fan now. Like still to this day, man, I talk to Coach Irwin, my coaches, Coach Harden, Coach Valden, Coach Silver, all those dudes coach me. I see him. You see Coach O, he's the superintendent now of St. Charles Parish with K. Rogers. Like all those guys coach me, bro. And I mean, the things that we did at Homeville, man, it was the good, the bad, the ugly, everything we always had fun doing. No matter if we were Coaches were cussing us out, bro. We were running, we were getting in trouble and had to run. The fights, the off season. We went to Camp Living Waters, and Robert, there's a Camp Living Waters. We went there for off season. That was our 3 days. Like everybody was there at school doing 2 days. We were at Camp Living Water doing 3 days, man. Sometimes four. Like I don't remember what year it was, bro. I'm talking morning, evening, afternoon practice. One time they tested us. They woke us up 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. We were gone for a whole week. Go up to Robert, Louisiana. We go to the camp facility for a whole week. We gone through our off season and just that, man. Coach Lambert. I don't know where Coach Lambert at. Coach Lambert was one of the best strength and conditioning guys you're gonna find from doing, Tiger Express, the Indian train, the Florida State drill in the wrestling room. Like it was so much things, so many different things that we did, bro, to where I used to tell my nephew that to where when I played, like when I was a player, I was in such a great condition. Like I never was tired. And it wasn't that I wasn't playing hard, just I was so well conditioned. If you look at any of the times I made player of the week, you look at them interviewing me, asking me, what was the success? I say, man, the coaches. Like it's like we knew what they were doing. So I mean, like we had the coolest coaches. We had a mixture of coaches, old, young, uh, the players. We just had the greatest time, man. And once again, everybody was behind us. Back then, home of Dexter games, you 10 rows deep on the track.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
everybody's behind you, the teachers, the school. So it was so fun, man, just to have those battles. And to me, honestly, like East St. John, I never beat Destrehan, but I'm gonna say that my 4 years at Homeville, I started 3 years. So like my sophomore year was the Jai Eugene show, and like I said, I told earlier, close game, Jai Eugene drunk that potion, went crazy. My junior year, Edwin Reed had the toe tap in the end zone, minute left in the game.
Mhm.
My senior year, they cheated us. I'm gonna say that. Senior year was the bot snap. When we blocked the field goal to win it. They throw the flag
That's the
after we
one.
blocked the
That's the one.
field goal.
LaRon Bird had to keep going out the game. Was it that
Yeah,
game?
yeah, it was my senior year, and
Yeah.
we ended up having a botch. They had a botch snap. They ended up calling the false start after we blocked the punt. But it's
Yeah. Val
always
did went
been,
crazy on that
yeah,
sideline.
yeah, man. It's always been real, like I said, real good and close games. So like I always had fun. Even I ain't gonna say then, but like even now, the losses that I had, East St. John, my sophomore year, we played them 3 times.
Yeah.
Hail Mary the first time. LaRon Bird catches the Hail Mary. We beat them. They skull drag us the second game, the district game. We play them in the quarterfinals. And that's where I don't know you have seen the Walking on Dead Fish
Yeah.
documentary. Played them in the quarterfinals and ended up beating them in the quarterfinals. The 6 overtimes my senior year. Game 7-0 game, the entire game. They throw a Hail Mary. They come back, throw a Hail Mary on the last play of the game. They catch it. We go in overtime, 6 overtime. So I've had some of the best games, man, playing against Homeville and Destrehan. So it's I keep those memories. I tell my little cousin, man, tell my nephew graduated a few years ago. That last game that you played at Homeville High School, you gonna always remember.
Most
So
definitely. Definitely. Well, I know you're gonna be there Friday night.
definitely, I will be there early. So
The rest of the Flash podcast, Body by Shotty and Ashley Morton, they're gonna be there too.
yeah, we're gonna be out there, man. We getting footage. We're gonna be out there recording, so we definitely gonna get us some footage, man.
Definitely, man. Well, the Hash It Out show, guys. All three of us. We don't have George Peppers right now, but we coming. We gonna be there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I hope all the fans show up and they all on the track for standing room only like it used to be, man.
I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's different now. That's one of the things I say is different, bro. You can't even really stand like on the field now. They got the track. If you are one of those people that stand on the track, man, they got you behind a barricade and stuff. It ain't as free as it used to be.
Right.
But hopefully we sell those stands out, have both sides packed, whole bunch of noise out there.
Definitely. Nunee, my good friend, man. Thank you for joining us, man. We truly appreciate it.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man.
Definitely.
Let's go
Thank
Tigers
you.
forever HHS, man. See y'all Friday.
Definitely, man. See you
Yes, sir.
Friday.
All right, fellas.
All right. Nunee Johnson. And make sure y'all check out the Flats podcast, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursdays. Nunee Johnson. Quick commercial break. And when we come back, time to hear from the Destrehan side. Coach Ulysses Frontha will join us right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com. And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. Joined by my co-host VK Jones, and we got George Peppers in here. He wasn't here. I don't know where he went, but he
There
wasn't.
I
There
am,
he
right
is.
here. I mean,
Yes, George
dude,
Peppers.
I've been sitting in this lobby waiting. You know,
I ain't
I
seen,
wanted.
I ain't seen, I ain't seen you in the lobby.
Okay, I've been here 25 minutes. It's cool. Okay.
In 25
I
minutes, and
I wanted
you
to say some things to. I wanted to say some things to Newt Reginald Johnson. I was going to actually test the theory of y'all protective ability with him because he was talking about he was going to hurt anybody who was pedestrian. I was going to test that theory and say, look,
Oh
we'll
Lord.
show, we'll, we were going to show up Friday night, and I was going to find a pedestrian shirt and show up and see how he was going and see if y'all were going to have my back because he said he was going to hurt anyone not rooting for Hahnville.
He was not serious, George.
I
He
know he
was
wasn't.
joking.
he talked.
I know that, but I was testing y'all. I was seeing if
Oh,
y'all were going to have my back in case he was.
oh
Just saying.
Lord. I
I was
don't
just goofing around.
I looked at you crazy. But anyway, our
I
next
might
guest.
be.
Yeah. Our next guest. He's the coach basketball and football at Destrehan High School. We have the one and only coach, Ulysses Frontha. Coach Frontha, what's going on?
How y'all doing, fellas? Doing great.
Good,
Wait, I
good,
don't see
coach.
him.
Good, coach.
Coach. So, coach, you just heard from Reginald Nunee Johnson from the Hahnville side. Now, with you being on the Destrehan side, Destrehan has ruled this rivalry. They won the last 11 out of the 12 games that was played. This is pretty much for the district championship. Destrehan looking for a share. Hahnville looking to win it outright. What does Destrehan have to do in order to defeat Hahnville and to continue this winning streak?
Well, as you watch Hahnville, one of the big things you realize about doing against Hahnville, you need to stop their running game. I think Destrehan, the trenches, both offense and defense, is going to determine what happens. If they can stop Hahnville's running game, they stand a good chance of winning the ball game. Also, you got to realize that because of injuries and things that happened during the year, Destrehan has changed some things. They found some things out about some kids that they didn't really know. For instance, we didn't know Jabari Mack could throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know Philip Wright could throw the ball on a halfback pass, or Lil Wilford could throw the ball. So with all that being said, injuries sometimes help because you realize what other kids can do when you put other kids in situations. And I think that's one of the things we found out that, hey, we can use Jabari as our Swiss Army knife.
How big is it that Jackson Fields has returned for Destrehan?
I tell you what, watching the ACL Bourgeois game when he first went in, we started the freshman and we didn't move the ball the first series. When Jackson stepped on the field, you could see the confidence, not just in Jackson, but everybody else. First play, he throws a slant. Next play, he throws another pass. Before you know it, boom, 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 we're in the end zone. You know, and you could see the difference in the kids. You can see the kids piled it up. Uh, the freshman did a great job while he played. You know, you're talking about a 14-year-old kid going against 16, 17-year-old guys. So he did a fantastic job, but he didn't have that moxie that Jacksonville has. Jackson has that moxie. He has that confidence about himself. You know, he knows he can get the job done. You know, and it's contagious.
Just talk about Jackson Fields being back. Defensively, Destrehan has struggled a little bit, but has there been an improvement within the defense in the last couple games that you have seen?
One of the biggest things I've seen we've done the last few games, Johnny Thiel is no longer a receiver.
Okay.
Johnny Thiel's been playing free safety. Uh, you know, against Captain Shreve, he picked one off. Should have had a pick six, but he had a little fumble in the end zone. Went through the end zone. You know, right before the half. But he has showed up because before that time we had two young kids back there playing safety. You know, because once Jace Thomas got hurt, you know, Jace Thomas, LSU commit at
Yeah.
safety. Once he got hurt against Alexandria, you know, we had two young kids back there, two sophomores, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and those kids wanted to come up and tackle somebody, and a lot of times they forget what their job was. You know, their job was to stop the pass, and they were worried about stopping the run. You know, which having somebody like Johnny back there, he's a center fielder, makes a difference.
We talked to Nunee earlier. It's been years that we've had such a buildup of this magnitude between Hornville and Destrehan. And being that it's Coach Boyne's first year and the job he's done has been magnificent, are you excited that this buildup is back to what it used to be?
I tell you, it's very similar to was, you know, I came back to Destrehan in '91, and when we went across the river to play, we played at Hornville, and they were in the parking lot. By the time we got there, you know, Vu used to wear the tiger, used to dress up like a tiger.
Yep.
He was out there cooking wildcat tails, and everybody was hollering at the bus, you know, and you had a feeling. And I told one of the kids then, I said, if you can't get excited about this type of atmosphere, then you're not gonna get excited about anything. And I think that Greg is bringing back that type of excitement at Hornville, which I figured he would. You know, I coached with Greg when he first got to Destrehan,
Yeah.
and Greg is a player's coach. You know, he's gonna make the kids enjoy themselves. Also, he's a Hornville guy. And I think that's part of the problem that was going on with Hornville. You didn't really have a Hornville guy there, somebody that felt the pulse of the community. And I think Greg is doing a great job doing that. Uh, love him to death, but hey, I don't love him enough to let him win.
They're not friends this week, but when the clock hits zero, they'll be friends again. Go ahead, BK.
Exactly, exactly.
Coach Frontha, man, it's good to have you on the show, and I know you've been a long time coach at Destrehan and everything. Appreciate you having me on. I got to ask you first question coming out. Uh, we noticed early in the season, before things started, offensive line a little bit up and down, a little bit inexperienced, but it seemed like the offensive line is starting to get much better, a little more progress. What are your thoughts on the Destrehan offensive line?
Well, you know, they started out. I think we only had two returners. You know, so you had a bunch of younger kids that had to get their feet wet. You know, and when you look at first of all, you're starting off with Catley of Baton Rouge, and we went toe to toe with them. You know, in the slop. You know, and I think those kids wound up getting a lot of confidence, uh, and that helped them. Right now, we lost the running back beginning of the season, a senior. So that means we had to have a sophomore back there. Right now, we got two sophomores back there running the ball. The little Dabney kid and the Crump kid. You know, so it took a while for those kids to realize what they needed to do as far as finding the holes and learning how to run. Because running in junior high and running in high school is two different things. You know.
Very much agreed. Very much agreed. I know Coach Bourne really turning around the program at Highville more than anything else. Do you think that Coach Bourne has a little bit of an advantage that he kind of has an idea of what Destrehan kind of offers, and not just that, what do mostly they do in a ball game, or could it be the other way around, Coach?
Well, not as much as people may think. I'm going to tell you why. We have a brand new offensive coordinator, and he's doing some different things. You know, when's the last time you saw Destrehan throw a halfback pass? you
Oh,
know, uh, uh, things like that. We running speed plays and we're trying to get the ball to different guys. Uh, the offense has changed some since Bourne left. Because when Bourne was there, we had a lot of speed guys. We had good quarterbacks. We threw the ball a lot. Plus, we had a good running back. You know, uh, we still have those same things, but now the offensive coordinator we have now, he's doing some different things. So it's going to be a chess match both ways. I think Bourne is going to be doing some things that our defensive coordinator may recognize, but we're going to be doing some things that Bourne may recognize. So it's going to be a toss up, I think.
Clint Harrison is pretty much the offensive coordinator. I know him very, very well, and you're absolutely right, Coach. A lot of different things at Destrehan more than anything else, especially how he's running the offense. So you're definitely absolutely right on that. Um, gotta ask you this. You been a long time coach over at Destrehan. You was also the girls basketball coach. I remember you coached a couple of very good talented players. One of them was Candace McGee, and you really did some great things with that program. You know how it is that you're enjoying your retirement, but not just that. How it was when you really try to put things together and get that girls program going at Destrehan.
Well, when I first started, when I first got back to Destrehan, I wasn't even thinking about coaching girls basketball. I went and watched the girls play. When I was up at Huntington High School in Shreveport, I coached a guy by the name of Randy Wright, who played for Louisiana Tech. I was an assistant coach up there for the boys, and watching the girls play, I just felt disappointed. You could see on the girls' faces. We played Booker T. Washington, I'll never forget, in a playoff game. And the girls went over to Booker T, and everybody in the gym was intimidated for Destrehan. You know, and our girls never started playing basketball until after football season because the head girls basketball coach was also one of the offense coordinators for football. So they didn't do anything in November. They didn't do anything until after football was over. So that means, hey, they're going to be behind everybody else. So once the chance came to take over the program, I put my application in. And the first year, uh, I had another guy with me. We were co-coaches, and the next year he left, went to Hornville, and I took over the program by myself. Which I had some great assistant coaches. Matter of fact, a couple of them were Hornville girls that came over and became assistant coaches with me. But I was blessed to have some good athletes. We had Javon Markey, who was 6'3", 6'4", played for UNO. Had Ashley Cinnamore, 6'2", shoulders wider than mine. You didn't want to get hit by her. Had Megan Stock, could shoot the three. I had some good athletes. Plus, the girls' programs in St. Charles Parish at that time were real good. So the girls were learning basketball, before they got to me. So I didn't have to teach them all over again, you know. But like I said, once we started rolling, the kids started realizing uh, what the program was all about.
Very much agreed. And it was a very deep river parish at the time for girls basketball, including a hell of a East St. John program
Big
back in
time.
the day. Goodness gracious, under Troy, is it
Troy
Giordano?
Giordano, bless his heart.
Giordano,
Bless his heart. He
Troy
passed.
Giordano. My goodness, I mean, a hell of a coach. Met him personally, and a hell of a man. I tell you that now. I'm gonna ask you this final question. George Peppers will take over the questions. What will it mean to Hanville? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What would it mean to Destrehan if they get it done again, knowing the improvement of this Hanville squad?
Well, one of the things everybody need to realize, this is not the Destrehan team that lost 3 games because we didn't have Jackson Fields. So even though Harmville's playing well, you go back and you look at the game against Catholic, if not for 1 inch first down, Destrehan wins the ball game. You go back and you look at the Alexandria game. We had 2 people open deep early, but we couldn't get the ball to them. So we didn't get the ball to our people's hands, our playmakers. Now that doesn't mean we're gonna be able to do all that against Harnville, but uh, we're gonna put up a good showing, I think. And Harnville has been playing well. They're riding high, which is good. But you got to realize the guys on the Destrehan team have never lost to Harnville. Have never lost to Harnville. We talking about from the freshmen to the seniors. They've never lost to Harnville. Uh, Matter of fact, those kids have never lost a district championship. So, you're talking about pride, and pride goes deep. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize, but hey, I played for Destrehan in 1966, before integration. So, that's still my school, so I have a lot of pride in Destrehan. So with that being said, one of the things we say at Destrehan is tradition never dies, and we have started a tradition at Destrehan. It started with Chipper, and that tradition is still there, and, they say in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So if Harnville wants to be the district champion, they still got to come through Destrehan at Destrehan. And I don't think we're going to lay over and play dead. Coach Marcus Scott is not going to let that happen.
George Peppers.
I got you, George. Go ahead, George.
All right, that's what I thought. Okay, good. Coach Frontha, first off, thank you for taking the time for joining us. And I've been listening between you and Coach and Nunee, and the perspectives that you guys are giving on this game. Look, who isn't hyped up? I mean, here's the thing that to the Harnville faithful, and I know you're out there listening, and I know you're gonna probably comment when I say it. Y'all doing a lot of talking for a team that's only won once in the last 12 years. A lot of talking. A lot of talking. And in order to the amount of smack being run, that they look, Destrehan, I mean, look, on the surface, coach, look, tell me I'm wrong. You guys, I'm going to ask you the first question. Let me go into it. The Terrebonne game you guys lost a few weeks ago. Hornville beat them 52-31. Y'all lost to them, right? Do you feel like
Exactly.
Hornville's bravado is coming from that game because that's a district rival?
Well,
And
it's probably coming from that game, but you got to realize now we had a 14-year-old kid as quarterback against
yep.
Terrebonne.
Hmm.
So the kid did a great job, and Terrebonne pulled away late.
Hmm.
So when you look at it offensively, we didn't do the things that we could do to score. A lot of things went bad. We've had that type of season. But the bottom line is sometimes you be careful what you ask for because you may
Exactly.
not
Isn't right.
like what you get.
He may not. Listen, I'll say this. If ever one player makes an impact for a football team, it is Jackson Fields because without him, you find out some things. Mac can throw it a little bit, but Fields has that pocket presence and that experience and that seasoning that you need against a team like a Hahnville. And this game is probably going to be for a share of the title of some sort if y'all win it, because that's 3 teams. Well, I don't know if that's terrible. Yeah, they've lost a game in district. They have.
Harville is undefeated in district. Terrebonne and Destrehan has one loss. So Destrehan
Right. So if
has to
Destrehan
win
beats
Harville.
Hornville, it's a 3-way tie for the top.
Yes.
Coach, I gotta say, you mentioned earlier about the game against Alexandria, and then the game was it last week against Captain Shreve? A track meet. basically what it turned out to be that game. Do you feel like this Destrehan team, the way they're approaching this game, do you feel like that they're starting to hit their stride a little bit, or where do you think this Destrehan team is as we get into this game?
Well, like I said earlier, one of the things that happened with the Destrehan team this year because of injuries, you know, we found out some things about ourselves. We found out that Jabari Mack needs the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Philip Wright
Yes,
needs the ball in his hands. You know, we found out some things that we could do better because of necessity. You know the old saying when life gives you lemons, you make
make
lemonade.
lemonade. Yep,
And that's what Coach Scott has done. He's taken Johnny Thiel, who's one of our best receivers, and he's put him at safety in place of Jace Thomas because Jace is out for the season. We lost Jace Thomas. We lost the running back. So those were two keys, both of them seniors that we lost. So because of necessity, Destrehan has found out, hey, we got some other things that we can do well. You know, and I think that when you look at this game coming up, Hornville's got to choose their poison. Because we got a kid, Malachi Dabney, who went for 240 against Captain Street. On the ground. We got Philip Wright. If he catches a quick out, they ain't got nobody on that side of the river gonna catch him. Kid's district champ and the regional champ in 100 and 200. You got Jabari Mack, strong as a bull. You know, uh, 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 like I said, you got to choose your poison. What do you want? And that's not even counting. That's not even counting Fields. Fields threw for 160 something against Captain Shreve, and nobody even talked about it. you know, uh, uh, and we got some kids that are playmakers. We had a kid last week, uh, 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 Daquan Dabney, which is Malachi's cousin. He caught one across the middle and walked away. Of course, last week, the team we played last week, the secondary wasn't very great. But just the idea, this kid's he's gaining confidence. And I think the whole Destrehan team has gained a lot of confidence because of adversity. They found out that, hey, let's not worry about what we don't have. Let's worry about what we have and what we can do good with it.
when you look at this matchup, just on the surface, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, Coach, and if you can uh, correct me or whatnot, but I feel like the pressure, despite their record against Destrehan, I think the pressure's on Harville to show you guys, hey, look, we're back. I think Destrehan's looking back and saying, you know what, let them talk, let them run their mouth. I think that Coach Scott's gonna have his team like, boys, stay humble. Yeah, they're coming. We're going to them, but we have the better players. I think when you look man to man, I think
Game
Destrehan
at
has the more.
game at Destrehan. Game at Destrehan.
Oh, it's at Destrehan. Okay, I'm sorry, but so they're coming to you, but you got. I feel like you guys have the better. What's the word I want to use? Top end players. Players that have more bottom to them. That you can dig down and get more eliteness out of. Hahnville, I don't think has that personnel grouping. They've been good. They've been good. But to me, the advantage lies with y'all. I feel like the pressure's on Hahnville Friday night because they've got to back up all that smack. They got to back it up.
Well, as I said earlier, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I
Because you
feel that.
never know. Sometimes when you got a sleeping giant, you don't go waking him up.
Don't poke them.
Yeah,
Don't poke
don't
them,
poke
right?
him. Don't poke him.
Exactly.
Don't poke the bear. Because sometimes uh, he may scratch you. And
He
there's
might
that
do more than that.
possibility. I think Destrehan is full of confidence, and it starts with Jackson. We're gonna go like Jackson goes. You know, uh, 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 I saw him take a couple of hits in the ball game, and seems like the knee's okay. So with that being said, you still got, like I said, we got receivers that can go the distance. Now, what we've done, we've got two defensive backs. Our two corners have never played corner until this year. And I think that's part of the thing that hurt us early in the year because those two kids had to grow up. One of them, he was a district qualifier in a state qualifier in the long jump and triple jump, Damian Richard. The other kid been a running back for 3 years. We finally moved him over there. He had 2 picks last week. So they're coming into their own, I think, slowly but surely, slowly but surely. Defensive front, we look good. Then we got a kid, Maya Gilbert, our linebacker. Against Captain Shreve, he had 17 tackles.
Mm.
You're talking about a kid that goes to the ball. I think our defense right now, I think our defense is ready for the running game. You know, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see. You're gonna have some things going on against Captain Shreve. The running game for Captain Shreve was so good because they did a lot of old wing T blocking. You know, which was full blocks.
Yeah.
You pull one way and run the other way. And we wasn't prepared for that. We wasn't prepared for that until right there at the end when we stopped them at the 3. You know, and also we made some changes and we've done some things to show up things like that. We've got some guys playing positions that they didn't play in the beginning of the year. And it's going to make a difference. I think we're gonna show up and we're gonna put up a good show. I think.
Mm. I like the quiet confidence. That's a good thing. Who's winning the tailgate fight Friday night? Because I think both, both. That's going to be the
Uh,
one.
I tell you what, if you talk to Kawan Smith, he's one of the big cooks. You got him, you got Steel Lee, you got Wilford's dad and all those guys. They
Sure.
already talking about being there at 1 o'clock cooking. You know, and they get outside the stadium and they start cooking and they have a little bit of everything. You know,
Mhm.
so that's going to be good. But you got to remember now we got Big Poppy. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but the guy he was on Barbecue Showdown,
Uh-huh.
came in
Oh
second.
yeah.
Gerald Burnett
Hmm.
Jr. He's going to be there cooking too. So we going the tailgate's going to be good. Tailgate's going to be good, but I think the main event is going to be better,
Oh, of course it
which is
is.
going to be the game.
Of course it is. What has the mood been around Destrehan in advance of this game? It's like, what do you kind of gauge do you feel about Destrehan coming in? The mood as far as excitement and whatnot. I mean, it is Destrehan Hornville. You have won 11 of the last 12, and you're thinking, oh, cool, here they come popping the mouth. What's the mood been around Destrehan this week?
Well, a lot of times, you tell your kids, you know, let somebody else do the talking. You don't have to tell nobody how good you are. They're gonna find out. And I think Destrehan is sitting back, just waiting, and figure, hey, we know what we can do. And it's up to them to prove that we can't. Because as I said earlier, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And
Awesome.
we were district champs the
Hmm.
last 5 years,
Yep.
and Hornville hasn't won it yet. So it's up to them to take the title. Just like in wrestling. When you go to wrestling, you got to take the belt.
Yeah.
And we wearing the belt right now. You know,
Oh wow! I like a little Ric Flair stuff going on there. To beat a team, that you got to
oh
beat
yeah,
the team, right? There you go. I like that. Love it.
exactly.
Well, way to
Last,
interject that, Coach. Last question.
last one, Joe.
Uh, last. That's good though. Last question. How can I phrase this? Oh goodness. What would be the biggest disappointment? Well, besides losing, in this game Friday night from the Destrehan side of things, what would be the biggest disappointment? Obviously, besides losing, but what would disappoint you greatly in after this game Friday night? Obviously, besides the loss, but something else.
The biggest thing to me is if the kids don't respond. You know, because like I said earlier, tradition never dies. Destrehan has built up a tradition, whereas our kids have responded. Even last year when we lost to Zachary, the kids responded. The kids played hard. And that's all you can ask. And Coach Scott has them playing hard. And the chips are going to fall where they may, you know. But you want the kids to always come out and give up, and put on a good show.
Most definitely. Last question, and we get you out of here. So we know this is a big game for both teams, but I think it's even bigger for Destrehan because with this win, more than likely, they might be hosting a first round playoff game. How big is that in your eyes?
To me, that's what I'm looking at. You win this one and you beat Thibodeau in the last game. You should wind up getting. You should be in the top 16. Which would be a first round playoff game because nobody likes to travel in the first round. You know, you don't want to be number 16 because if you do get a first round game, it means you got to go to number 1 the next week.
Right.
So you're hoping that you can move up enough power points. Also, when you look at strength of schedule and things such as that, uh, you want people like Bonneville to win. Teams that we beat, we want them to win. You know, simply because that's going to help us. And you were talking earlier about a three-way tie for the district championship. Well, you know what they did in basketball last year when we had a two-way tie. The team with the higher power points
Mm-hmm.
wound up getting the championship.
Right.
Wound up being considered district champion.
Right.
So even Hornville could still lose and still be considered the district champion if they got more power points than us.
That did happen in
You know,
basketball. You're exactly
and
right.
that can happen. That can happen. You know, so you never know. But the biggest thing is you want to get out there and you want to put up a good show because you're going to have a crowd, and you cannot let the crowd dictate how you play.
That's right.
You got to play within yourself. And if you don't, it's on you. And my thing is when you think about it, as I said earlier, Hornville hasn't beaten these kids since they've been in high school. So, it's up to Hornville to take it away from them, and let them know that, hey, we ruling the rock now. We ruling the roost, if they want to, you know. And I'm pretty sure Coach Bourne is going to do a fantastic job getting ready because I know him, like I said, when he got the job at Hornville, the first thing I text him and say, hey, good luck except one game. And you know which one it is.
Yes, sir.
You're my buddy. You and I, we work together. We went out to eat together and things such as that. But when it comes to Destiny and Hornville, you know where I lie.
Most definitely. Coach Frontha, thank you for joining us. We're gonna see you Friday night. We're gonna be in attendance, so we see you Friday
Hey,
night.
I'll be on the sideline, sitting on the Hornville side in my lawn chair.
Yeah,
Oh
That's where I
wow.
sit every home game
that's
since
where
I
he sits.
retired.
That's where he sits on the visitor side every home game. He does do
Yep.
That's
that.
brazen, but I like it. That's brazen, but I love it.
Well, I don't want to be in the stands, and I don't want to hear all the people up there complaining
There you go.
because I used to coach.
Bring the Kleenex for him, coach.
You know.
Yes, indeed. Coach Frontha, thank you, and we'll see you Friday night.
Y'all take care, gentlemen. Enjoy
You
it.
too.
All right.
And
Hey,
y'all.
coach.
All right. Bye-bye.
Goodness gracious, this dude George. But look, quick commercial break. And when we come back, we have the head coach of the East Jefferson Warriors joining us, Coach Brian Glover, right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move. Cause I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Cause I'm winning.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by VK Jones and Joyce Peppers. The Hash It Out Show game of the week is between the John F. Kennedy Warriors. Oh, excuse me. See, I got East Jefferson on my mind. The John F. Kennedy Cougars and the De La Salle Cavaliers. You see that on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy this Saturday night. Pre-game starting at 6:30. The game at 7 o'clock. But this Thursday night, Halloween night, there is a district championship up for grabs between the East Jefferson Warriors and the Riverdale Scottish Rebels. Joining us now is the head coach of the East Jefferson Warriors, the one and only Coach Brian Glover. Coach Glover, what's going on, man?
Hey man, how you doing, my man? I appreciate y'all having me on.
Definitely, man. We appreciate you to do this with us. Let me get right to it, Coach. What was the reason that you wanted to become a football coach?
Oh my God, man, that whew, you taking me back, back to my teenage days and just growing up. I mean, growing up in a small town, the country like I did back in New Roads, Louisiana, man. Sports was the lifeblood of our community, the lifeblood of the youth, man, and some of the greatest mentors that I had, coming up were coaches. And that always held a special part in my heart, man. And I knew that, sports was the only thing I really wanted to do. I was fortunate enough to be an athlete, to be a college athlete, but I always knew if I couldn't be a professional athlete, I wanted to be a coach, man, because those guys really, really, really played a big part in my life, and I wanted to do the same.
Definitely. You've coached at several different places, but before this East Jefferson job, you were the head coach at Grace King. And we're going back 2 seasons ago. While you're coaching, word comes out that Grace King is going to close. When you heard that, what were the type of thoughts that were going through your mind the rest of the season, knowing that when the school year is over with, I may have a job, I may not. I'm not gonna be in these kids' lives, whose lives I've been in. What was going through your mind with that?
Well, to be honest with you, it was really crazy for us because throughout the year you're hearing the rumblings of schools would be closing in Jefferson Parish, but ironically enough, Grace King's name never was part of that mix. So in our mind, we were, man, the way rumors are, we were hearing everything. We were hearing about Riverdale, we were hearing about Bonneville, you're hearing about this, you're hearing about that. Grace King's name never came up. And we were a B school, so we were thinking, it wasn't going to be us. So it never really crossed our mind. We had went through spring practice, and the word came across at one of those meetings that they had. Word came across that, oh well, Grace King is potentially on the list, and that was in April. I will tell you this: we first learned about it in April. About 30 days later, school was closed. It just happened out of nowhere for us. So it wasn't like we had time to really think about it. And it was a sad feeling. It was a sad feeling around the school. It was a sad feeling around the school community, the faculty, everybody. Because for us at Grace King, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have a chance to really, think about it. Because before you knew it, it was May, and you had to find another job quick.
Definitely. Well, that job was found because you became the head coach for East Jefferson. Talk about the day you got the news that they were hiring you as the head coach.
Man, it was a great feeling, and you knew that it was nothing but it was nothing but God at work, because for a school to have a head coach opening at that time, that doesn't happen. Because like I said, that was late April, early May, where they had it was something issue that they had where the coach was dismissed at that point, at that time of the year. And so it just so happened that a school 5-10 minutes away had an opening at the time that I was looking for a job. And we went through the process, went through the interview process, man. And when I got the call that that they were giving me the opportunity to be the head coach at East Jefferson. Man, it was a blessing, and all I could do was thank God, because the timing of it was so crazy, and for it to happen like that, we knew that it was a blessing.
Now you're the head coach of East Jeff. There's kids you coached at Grace King that's coming over to East Jeff, and there's kids you coached against when you was at Grace King, already playing football at East Jeff.
Yeah.
Was it hard, like bringing these kids together, meshing them together, creating a smooth environment? Was it hard at all doing that?
Absolutely, it was not. I mean, for the schools to be so close together, so close to each other in proximity, the rivalry between the two wasn't a heated rivalry. It wasn't any like a bad blood between between the kids. And it was a shocker to me, because I thought about it myself. I was like, okay, I wonder how it's going to mesh. I wonder how it's going to. But honestly, the kids that were already at East Jefferson, they were excited about the kids that were coming over, potentially coming over for Grace King, because they all knew each other. They all knew each other. They all grew up together. They all played ball together or whatever. So, middle school ball and that kind of deal. So it wasn't, it was the transition. I tell you, man, the transition was very, very smooth, and that was a blessing. Also, I mean, the blend was wonderful. They blended, they meshed, and they really, the kids that were at East Jefferson really welcomed the kids that came over from Grace King. So it was a very smooth transition.
Good deal. Um, Started this season, your second year at East Jefferson. Chalmetta's going. Riverdale moves into the district. Higgins moves into the district. You got John Everett. You got West Jeff also. Um, what was your message to your team at the beginning of this season?
Well, we knew that we had the opportunity to really, do some good things, because our team this year was so heavily senior laden. We had, we have right now 18 to maybe between 18 and 22 seniors on the team. So we knew going in that this was an opportunity to really do something special. And I knew that the kids that I had coached at Grace King, that I'd had them since they were freshmen. And unfortunately at Grace King, with the type of talent that we had as a whole, those kids were forced to play 5A football as a freshman. So we had kids that had started since their freshman year. So playing against John Eric, playing against West Jeff, playing against Bonneville, they've done it. So they've done it. They've done it time and time again. They knew what to expect. So we knew that that experience, it was now time for it to pay off. And the message that we preached to them all off season was, don't let this type of opportunity pass by. Teams that have those that type of makeup, to where you have such so many seniors on the team, where 90% of your starters are going to be seniors, and your backups are going to be seniors. When you have that type of opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. You can't take it for granted. There is no more next year. There is no more, okay, we'll get them tomorrow, that kind of deal. So that mindset we had to really get them to understand, and they worked hard all off season, and they've taken advantage of their opportunity.
Before I pass it on to VK Jones, John Everett has pretty much been the king of this district. This Thursday night, there's a new king that's going to be crowned. East Jefferson or Riverdale.
Yes, sir.
You've watched him on Riverdale. What is it about Riverdale that stands out to you when you watch them on film?
Well, first thing, man, I'm giving all types of credit to Coach Foster and what he's doing over there at Riverdale. I mean, he really basically he changed the whole format of what they do. Riverdale was, they were running the shell met offense, and that's what they were doing. They were going to play the cover four on defense, and it was what it was. And Coach Foster came in there, man, and he's changed it up. I mean, they're running true spread on offense, and they got a nice quarterback back there. He's going to sling that thing around, and they got a couple of athletes on there that if you don't bottle them up, they take it to the house on you. So like I said, kudos to Coach Foster, man. Good guy. We met a couple of times. We talked a couple of times, man. And I really like him, and I like the job that he's doing over there. And it's exciting for me being in the parish for, I think this is my 6th year in the parish, and seeing now seeing some of the schools on the East Bank be able to to compete a little bit, because for a while when I first got there, man, the West Bank was beating up on them. So it's a chance. It's just good to see Riverdale in particular, East Jeff, being able to compete for this district championship, man.
VK.
Coach Glover, man, good to have you on the show. We appreciate you joining us, man.
Yes, sir.
I know, like you mentioned about, and I'm picking back at what you're saying about the East Bank. And I tell you one thing, and I said it on the show myself, that even a couple weeks when the district started, the first couple weeks, I said the takeover is here. The takeover is here. The East Bank is taking over. This is the first time since around 93, 94 that East Jeff, especially when you guys got the victory last week against Eric, first victory since 94. And also the first time we seen back then in 93, 94, you had Bonneville and EJ. Now this year is EJ, Riverdale battling for the district, and Bonneville competing. So it seems like this is big right then and there. That's a big, huge swing of the pendulum, don't you think?
Yes, it is. It is. And I'll say this, being at Grace King for 4 years, and this being my 2nd year at EJ, I know what it looked like when I got there, and how good those teams were on the West Bank, and they were a step ahead of what we were doing over there on the East Bank. And with the John Eric situation, it took some historians at EJ to let me know during the week, like, Coach, they really told me, like, Coach, it's been a long time since EJ has beaten Eric. Now I know it's been 9 years in a row, but one of the true historians, Coach Mark Martin over there, longtime football coach and the track coach over there at EJ, he said, "Oh no, Coach, let me tell you." He said the last time EJ beat John Eric was 94. I was like, "Wow, for real, Coach?" He said, "Yes." He said it was 94, and then because he said for a good bit of time when EJ went down to 4A, they didn't play each other. So there was a time span that they didn't play each other. But he said, but before then and after then, they ain't beat them since 94. So I was like, wow, okay, that was that was something to see. And it had become sort of a topic of conversation or whatever. And so I tried to let the kids know, hey man, don't feed into that. It doesn't matter. This season is this season. What happened, 30 years ago or whatever has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? So that was kind of the message we had to preach to them. Like, hey, look, we have to focus on ourselves. We have to focus on our preparation. We have to focus on our execution. And if we do that and we play hard, man, we're gonna have a chance to win. And we were able to pull it out in the end. It was a great game. We were able to pull it out last under 2 minutes of the game, man. It was a great game, and what Coach Reggie Rogers doing over there at John Ehret, man. We embrace, man, because we've had some battles over the years, man, and it was a good game.
And at the time when EJ got the win in '94, the late Henry Randall was the head coach. Sullivan Turner and the great Tony Converse led East Jeff to that victory. But at the time going forward, as you being head coach at EJ, how it was with your staff? Because it seems like you took the majority of the staff from Grace King and you brought them with you to EJ. And it looked like it was not just a blessing for you, but it was a blessing for you guys that you worked with, that you helped build at Grace King, to have them to come with you more than anything else. And some of them I know personally that you was like, hey, this was an opportunity not just for me, but I can bring in my guys and then we can work together and get things done.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I will say about it, man, at Grace King, man, I'm sad that the school had to close because to be honest, I was having a great time coaching at Grace King, man. When I went there, I wasn't going there to coach. I was actually going there to take the year off from coaching and just relax and take a year off. But I was there, and the coach ended up leaving, and COVID happened, and they asked me, "Hey, coach, would you take over the team?" I was like, "Okay." That wasn't in my plans, but let's go. And I knew that they had some lean years, and they were struggling. But I said, "Hey, look, if I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna do it, give me some time, and we'll get this thing." We'll get this thing going in a positive direction. Now at Grace King, with the type of kids that you were going to have, will you ever, win the district championship? Probably not. But what I told my staff when my staff got together, we've been together, the whole time, was, hey man, at Grace King, you win 5 games, they're gonna throw you a parade. You know what I mean? So that's what we were focusing on. Let's get to a winning season. And we thought that the school, when the school closed that next year, we felt that we were going in that right direction. And when I was able to get the job at EJ, I said I was bringing everybody over with me that I could, because I knew those guys, I trusted those guys, and I know the type of work that those guys put in. And the record may not have been great, but the record doesn't tell the whole story about what type of coaching is going on.
Yeah.
And I knew what type of coaching was going on. I knew how how much they cared about kids and how much they worked for kids, man. And it was definitely a blessing to be able to bring the guys with me that I was able to bring.
Well, EJ has been, a lot of improvements to your team, coach, more than anything else. Tell us about your players that has been stepping up and handling the business for the Warriors.
Oh man, it's been a total team effort. We've one thing I will say about this team is everyone is contributing. Everyone is contributing. We don't really have a offensively, we don't have like a star player that we lean on, or it's who's ever hot that day, whoever's got the hot hand that game. That's the kind of guy that's gonna that's gonna be featured, man. Offensively, we do we pride ourselves this year on being able to run the ball. Both of our running backs, Paul Jones, Jaden Abikwe, they've both taken turns being the lead rusher for the for that week. I was just looking at the stats and like, man, it's not by design, but they both got about the same amount of carries, run the same amount of yards. It's like it just kind of happened that way. But they've been performing well for us. Receiver wise, Malcolm Jones and David Johnson, Dorian Hollins, man, they've been doing very well for us. Our offensive line has been doing great. David Melendez and Darryl Robinson, man, those guys on the offensive line, Zion Washington, those guys, Carl Reagan have been doing a great job for us. Defensively, man, the defensive staff, uh, and the players, man, they've been coming up with great schemes every week to pretty much stop our opponents, man. They've been doing a great job of coaching on the defensive side of the ball. The players, defensive line, Manny Aguilar and Iago De Jesus, man, they're doing a great job over there. Dorian Hollins also playing both sides of the ball at the defensive end. Drew Poche at the linebacker spot, been doing a great job for us. And in the secondary, Malcolm Jones in the secondary and Dante Thompson been doing a great job for us as well. And also, man, Cody Jones has been doing a great job for us on defense. And unfortunately, he suffered a severe broken leg in that John Eric game last week, man. And so that was a tough one. That was a tough one to swallow because he's been doing a great job for us. But those are the guys, man, have been doing a great job for us this year.
Last question, I'll pass it to George Peppers. For the first time ever, two East Bank schools battling for the district championship. Did you ever see to this day in the history of that district overall, since it's back together again for the first time in a long time, that this would happen? And what would it mean to you and East Jeff if you get the job done Thursday night?
Man, well, I did not know this is the first time ever that two East Bank schools were battling for the district championship. So that's something that is definitely something. But man, I know this would mean a whole lot to the East Jefferson community, man. Though that's a great community, great faculty, man. Everybody at the school, tremendous support for the team. And they've been starving. They've been starving for this type of success, man. And I know this would mean a lot, man. We get a lot of alumni coming back, a lot of the older alumni coming back. Very excited about what's going on and the potential of what's going on. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to take this opportunity for granted, and we don't want to take this time for granted, because we were just telling the kids yesterday, man, district championships aren't easy, and they don't come easy. And it's guys that play for 4 years and never get a chance or opportunity to play for a district championship, and they would love to do that. And so we have to really cherish this moment and make sure that we do everything in our power to make sure that we're successful. And I know this will mean a lot to everyone associated with East Jefferson.
The last East Bank district championship out of Jefferson Parish happened in 1998. Mike Villamarette and Bonneville went undefeated that season.
Yes.
So that's the last East Bank champion. George Peppers, you're up.
Coach Glover, first off, thank you for taking the time to joining us on the Hash It Out show. We appreciate your time. My first question: the fact that this is a Thursday night game, I think for the element that I'm going to say is that you guys get to have the spotlight to yourselves Thursday night. Thursday night games, there's usually a couple of games here and there, but a district championship on the week 9 of the, I'm about to say NFL prep football season. Caught myself. The fact that you guys have that spotlight, I think is to me a real boon. And as a John Eric grad, look, I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm an Eric grad, look, and I'm not gonna sit here and throw sour grapes at y'all. Y'all have had a really good team, and I'm looking forward to this game Thursday night. But who do you think the short week favors in this matchup, being that it's for a district title? Both teams are similar in scope. Who do you think this matchup favors, and what are you guys gonna have to do to swing the pendulum your way and win this thing Thursday night?
Yeah, well, one thing I will say about this, my philosophy is, hey man, it's week 9. It's week 9, so both teams, you do what you do. They've got 9-10 weeks of film that they can study of what we do, and we have the same for them. So in preparation, it won't be many surprises. You know what they're gonna do, they know what we're gonna do, kind of deal. So that short week, you just try to make sure you stay as healthy as possible. Now I know Riverdale had to pull the tough Saturday, Thursday turnaround, and that is brutal. That is brutal. So I don't envy that at all. I've had to do that, once or twice in my career, and that's tough. And that would be tough, preparing for such a big game, having to have that quick turnaround, like that. So, if there's a slight advantage our way, I think maybe that may be it, with them having to have that quick turnaround from a Saturday, Thursday turnaround kind of deal. But, other than that, man, I know this is going to be a even matchup, just watching them on film, watching them all year, seeing what they, keeping an eye on them. We've been keeping an eye on them just as they've been keeping an eye on us. Coach Foster and his whole staff was at the game, at the John Eric game. It is what it is. But, we've been keeping an eye on each other. And I do think that this will be a tough game, a tight game, a good game. And I'm looking forward to it Thursday night.
It seems like it feels like this is one of those games where it might be a last possession type of game between you two guys. And I'm proud of the fact that it's you two playing for the title. And it says a lot for the advent of the East Bank that 2 East Bank schools are going to run for the title Thursday night. And look, we prognosticated before the year. Look, I'm not a presumptive person, never have been, never will be. And we all thought John Eric was going to be in that spot. They're not. You guys have the common denominator of beating John Eric. Do you think your win against Eric in advance of this game helps you in this preparation?
Yes, because it helps the kids in their psyche and their confidence. All I've heard and frankly witnessed since I've been in this district is, the East Bank schools, when they go over to the West Bank, it's just it's an aura. It's something that it's something bigger than the game that they have to get through psychologically. And I think with them getting this win, it made them feel like, okay, I think we can do this. Well, the week before we went to the West Bank and we beat West Jeff. And when we beat West Jeff, like, okay, we can go to the West Bank and we can win. And then came back the next week and pulled out a tough one against John Eric. So that really helped to give the kids confidence that, hey, if we can take down those teams, we can pretty much compete against anybody in this district. So they're excited about it, and we're trying to make sure that we capitalize on that on Thursday.
It's a short week. How have the kids looked thus far in preparation? How's the preparation gone for your Warriors in advance of this humongous district championship game on Thursday night?
Well, the kids have been really locked in. Kids have been really locked in, man. We talk about it after each game. Like when we're in the huddle after the game. Hey, this one's over. Win or lose, it's done. It's over. You take 24 hours to bask on it, but come Sunday, we on to the next. And we have preached that message all year, and No more does it come into fruition than this week, because you had to get rid of thinking about beating Eric for the first time in forever, because you had to turn around 4 days later and play for the district championship against Riverdale, against your rival, big rivalry between those two. So you got all that, in the mix, making sure that they staying off of social media, not getting involved in all that kind of stuff. Oh, coach, this person said this and this person said, man, we cannot worry about that, because at the end of the day, we have to focus on what we're doing on the field. And we can't be selfish, and we can't have kids worrying about, oh, I want to do this in the game. I want to do this. I want to do that. No, not this week. This week is all about making sure at the end of the game we have one more point than they do.
Mhm.
And as long as that
Yeah.
happens, then that's the goal. Anything else is secondary.
As if to add any more to the pressure cooker, I mean, not just the district championship, but a potential home playoff game for the winner, potentially. What would it
Yeah.
mean for East Jefferson and your program to have that opportunity to host a first round playoff game?
Man, my administration talked about that in the beginning of the season, before the season started. It was like, Coach Glover, we really like to have a home playoff game, because I know they hadn't had one there in a while. I know the last time they went to the playoffs, not last season, but the year before, they had traveled down to Scotlandville and kind of got beat up pretty bad down in Scotlandville, and there's something about taking a long ride for the playoffs and coming home with an L. And this it's not the greatest feeling. So it would mean a lot to the school. It mean a lot to community. It mean a lot to the coaches to be able to host the playoff game, man, and because that makes you feel like you've accomplished something during the season. You've done your due diligence during the season, and you get rewarded with a home playoff game. So that would be big. And I know East Jeff, and I know Riverdale, I know they're thinking the same thing. They would love to host a home playoff game. So and that's what we tell the kids. Hey man, whatever it is you feel that you're fighting for, they're fighting for the same thing. So all those feelings and stuff that you have, oh man, we're gonna do this, but guess what? They feel the same way. So they coming in confident, they coming in ready to go, just like you are. So it adds to the rivalry, it adds to the game. Halloween night, everybody's gonna be amped up, man. I think it's gonna be a great atmosphere.
What is your team has been very versatile this year. You don't have that one go-to guy. You guys are a really good balance. Give me a key to this game. I mean, you've seen Riverdale on film. You know what they're about, and you know what you're about. Give me one element in this game that's going to be very key for you guys to win this district championship on Thursday night.
Man, two things. We cannot turn the ball over, shoot ourselves in the foot, and we can't have silly penalties that gives them better field position or extends drives. That has kind of been the Achilles heel for us in the 3 games that we've lost. We've shot ourselves in the foot in those 3 games. The Bell Chase game, I think we lost by 7 to Bell Chase, but we had 3 turnovers. One was a pick 6 kind of deal, so it was a really good game, but if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, possibly a different outcome. The South Plaquemine game, the same thing. We lost in triple overtime, but we gave them points by turning the ball over. That kind of deal. Now the 35 game, that was a tough one. They brought it to us that day, but two of the 3 games that we lost were more self-inflicted. So that's the key that we've been kind of harping on these last 3 games on, been on a 3-game winning streak, is, hey, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't turn the ball over. Play sound football. Play sound complementary football. Defense is going to do their thing. Offense is going to do their thing. Special teams is going to do their thing. Everybody play complementary to each other, and make sure that we play harder than the other team. We try to make sure we play harder than they do, no matter who you're playing against. And you able to do those things, you'll be successful more than not.
In your second year, did you ever imagine that you would have East Jefferson competing for a district championship this quick? Being that it felt like an arduous rebuild, but it's your second year and you got this team on the precipice of a potential district championship. Did you think the success would come this quick?
Um, I no, I didn't. I didn't. But one thing we did realize early in the off season, when you really looked at the roster and you saw the roster makeup, we knew that okay, we better seize the opportunity that we have, because we have the opportunity with some talent and some experience. We got that mesh of talent and experience, and so we got to make sure that we get something out of it. And so we've been able to do it so far. We got a big one on Thursday night, trying to cap this season off with the district championship, and hopefully we can get it done.
What kind of a excitement level has there been around the school this weekend about tickets? I mean, what kind of a crowd do you think we're going to get Thursday night for this game? That's my last
Well, I
question.
mean, our principal came on the intercom today with his idea, and he said all students getting in free if they got a school ID. So I said, okay.
All right.
When it comes to the business aspect, I said I hope they buy some nachos while they're there. But
Yeah.
you know, but he's trying to get the whole school out. He's trying to get the whole school there. It's been exciting. Uh, you know, from what I hear before we got there, that that the student involvement and that kind of stuff had kind of declined a little bit, and so that was one thing that they wanted to get back. And I will say that this year you've seen an uptick in the fans. You've seen an uptick in the students. The students are excited about the game. The students have been talking about the game all week. So I think they're prepared to do it. And I know Riverdale on the other side. I know they're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They got a big old band. They're gonna get the blowing, and I know their student body and their fans, and it's gonna be Halloween night. So the kids are gonna be out. The kids are gonna be out. They're gonna be extra rowdy. So I think it's gonna be a very good environment, for a Thursday night football game.
JB, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I know that's the last question. My bad.
Yeah, it was. I actually
Well, Coach,
slipped it in there.
okay. Coach Glover, thank you for joining us. We're going to be in attendance Thursday night to watch this game up close and personal. So best of luck to you. Best of luck to your team. And we'll see you Thursday night. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey, man, no problem, man. Thank y'all for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Anytime, Coach.
All right. Okay.
Coach Brian Glover. And as I go to Instagram, a bunch of Riverdale Scottish rebels that are watching. They didn't type anything in. They just sitting there watching and listening. Oh, man.
They're digesting is what they're doing. They're just ingesting what's being said, looking for any kind of bulletin board stuff. That's what they're doing.
Man.
That's why they're not saying nothing.
Hey, you giving Harville nothing but bulletin board stuff. I was like,
Hey, look, no, I was just throwing it out there. Look, they've been talking a lot of jack. They have.
You didn't see the other side. There's other people from Desiree talking too. I've seen it.
Yeah, but I think Harville needs to kind of pump it a little bit because 1-11 in the last 12, Jared. Let's just
all I'm gonna tell you, all I'm gonna tell you is this: if Hanville somehow wins that game on Friday, don't be surprised. Some players, here we go. This is the truth. Riverdale player came to look for me.
Yeah.
And send me a message.
Oh yeah.
He sent me a message.
Yeah.
Against West Jeff when they blasted West Jeff last. I'm on the hunt price. So I'm a mark of VK.
Hey, all I know when I went talk to when I went talk to Coach Boyne after the game against Thibodeau, couple Highville players came up to me, shook my hand, and said, "Oh, you VK. It's good to meet you, man. You do a great job." So I ain't gonna lie, if Highville wins, they might be coming looking for you on Friday. They're gonna be like, "Where's George
It's
Peppers?"
okay. I didn't say.
Just
Wait, wait.
saying, just be
I
ready.
feel okay. I feel that I need to answer this, Jared. I do. I'm not saying I'm picking Destrehan and I'm not picking Harville. That's tomorrow night. I'm just throwing elements into the equation and letting people know, hey, look, there's a lot of keys to this ball game. I did not say I was picking Destrehan. I did not say I
Oh,
was picking Harville. So uh,
I did
stay
the same
tuned.
thing. I did the same thing with Aaron and Riverdale. I just put if I ever see quote unquote the player, if I ever see him, I'm not gonna say his name. If I ever see him,
You
I'm gonna
will.
shake his hand. No, I will see him Thursday. I'm gonna shake
Exactly.
his hand and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell him this straight up. I said, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you took it as motivation. All I did was set facts. Because plain and simple, in my lifetime, in my 45
Hmm.
years, your school has never beaten that team. And every time you played,
They got beat.
the freaking second team is in the third quarter.
Exactly.
That's how bad it was.
Running clock, and all that
Running
stuff.
clock, all that. So for y'all to change the game, I'm very happy for you. But I'm glad he recognized that I did say that they had a chance, that they had a
Let me
shot.
let me throw this out there for the three of us. We are very blessed this week. It is the penultimate week of the regular season, and we get to see three, not one, not two, but three district championship games. Thursday night, East Jeff Riverdale. Friday night, the rivalry, Hahnville Destrehan. Saturday, the game of the Hash It Out Show game of the week, De La Salle Kennedy
Yeah.
at Pan American Stadium. Stay tuned for that. We are going to. This is going to be a very great, a supreme week for the three of us. We get to see three championship games, and the atmospheres different, but all three. I mean, obviously, when you don't, East Bank. Look, Coach Glover mentioned about those nachos. Look, them Jefferson Parish nachos hit a little differently, I guess. I don't know, but just goofing around with that. But the atmospheres for all three games, I think the common denominator there's going to be genuine excitement and the purity for East Jeff and Riverdale. Not having been in this position, how are you not excited as a prep football fan for that game? I mean, some people on the novices are going to say EJ Riverdale. Oh, who cares? Y'all better pay attention. Those two cats are going to hustle in and get out there and play ball, and best team win. And I know we're going to see Charles Allen Thursday night. He's probably going to want to see me after he's still got they post John Eric stuff, beating, he's going to want to give me some late smack talk. He might. And hey, man, look, I'll take it. Take it like a man. It is what it is. I just wish the common denominator for all three games to the six teams that we get to see the best of luck. May we see your best effort. And let's make sure that we can get out of here in one piece and nothing crazy happens to where it determines any of the three games. And three district championships. We're spoiled this week, boys. We are absolutely spoiled this week.
All
And I'm
six
not
teams
covering my
going to
tracks,
playoffs.
Austin.
All six
What's
teams
that?
going to the playoffs.
Yep. But the
And
element with I'm sorry, the element with EJ and Riverdale, Jared, the fact that the winner may get a host a playoff game, that has to be added to the mix.
That's added to the mix. That's the same with I think Harville will host the first round no matter what. But Destrehan, if they
That's
get
right.
this
We'll get
win and
there.
beat Thibodeau, they got a shot to host the first round game too.
I think
Thibodeau,
the jump they're
Terrible
gonna get.
16. So they pretty much got to finish and win out.
Hmm.
wow, it's a lot, and especially like you mentioned, Thursday, whoever
Congrats on your
wins,
anniversary, Jordan.
yeah, whoever wins, they happy anniversary. Now whoever wins Thursday does get a home playoff game, but this is a history making district championship game. Like we mentioned, for the first time ever, somebody in the East Bank will win the title in a East Bank Jefferson Parish district championship. We've never seen that before in my 45 years. And now we're seeing it for the first time.
I gotta
Yep.
piggyback off of what you're saying, VK, about that last statement you made. I don't think, and I'm 54, since we're disclosing ages. In my lifetime, I never would have imagined Riverdale on the precipice of competing for a district championship in football, considering,
Let me stop you right
the
stop you because Coach Foster
uh-oh.
would tell you, why not Riverdale? Why not
I
Riverdale?
know, no, what I'm saying is that the element of they're playing for a district championship, none of us, because Enrique mentioned Riverdale's been,
Not Torrance.
victimized a
I
lot.
see you.
What's that?
Torrance
What's
Signal.
that?
Torrance Signal joined on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Our game this Thursday coming up, Torrance. Go ahead,
I'm gonna
Joe.
be careful. I'm gonna be careful. All I'm saying is that Rebel program, Wallace Foster, I'm gonna tip my hat to you, bro. I mean, you have done yeoman's work, instilling a belief in those kids. Their confidence is infectious, and it's gonna be fun to watch. And East Jefferson's gonna be there for you. Brian Glover's got is gonna have his team ready. Look, I can't wait for these 3 games.
Telling
Oh
you.
my goodness. It,
Yes.
it is going to be incredible all 3 nights. The only thing is that there might be an element of rain Thursday. I think there's like a 50% chance of rain, but that's turf at Yenny. So the track will still be it'll be a little slick, but it'll still be fine.
Your rain
So,
jacket. I'm bringing mine.
Torrance Signal. I'm coming to see you on Thursday, Torrance Signal. I'm coming to see you. Come shake
If
your
he
hand.
suplexes you, then what, VK?
We're gonna, I ain't gonna. I'm like this. I'm going to shake the man's hand and have a nice
Absolutely.
conversation.
And we're going to be there with you.
That's it. That's all it is.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we gotta end this show because we will be back tomorrow with all the picks of the games who we think are going to win. But VK gonna tell y'all who's our special guest for tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, we have Turling's Catholic head coach Dane Sapanche. He will join us tomorrow night at 7:30. That's Dane Sapanche of Turling's Catholic, undefeated. They will take on St. Thomas More on this Friday night. So we're gonna have him tomorrow night, and we got something special for you at halftime on Saturday's game of the week. Just got confirmation of a huge halftime interview. And
Is
all I'm
this
gonna tell
live?
you, it's a big no, it's not gonna be live, it's gonna be recorded,
Tape.
but
Okay.
it's gonna be taped, but at the same time, a big time representative of John F. Kennedy will be the halftime interview. We'll tell you coming up soon.
Stay tuned. Gotta love it.
Definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. You will see us tomorrow at 7:30. Thank you to Reginald Nunee Johnson of the Flats Podcast. Thank you to Coach Ulysses Frontha. And thank you to Coach Brian Glover of East Jefferson. We see you tomorrow right here on the Hash It Out Show. For George Peppers, for VK Jones, I am JB the Sports Guy. See you tomorrow right here at 7:30. Y'all take care.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Hey guys, this is Arkisha Baquet, the owner of Little Dizzy's Cafe. I am here with VK Jones, who is a part of the Hash It Out Show. We're coming to let y'all know what they got going on, and Dizzy's is a proud sponsor of the show. Tell them what we got.
Well, the Hash It Out Show now has been on the air for 3 years, over 100 shows and everything. Right now, we got Legends Month. We are interviewing the best players that ever played in the state of Louisiana, so join us for that. But at the same time, we got the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week. We're going in year number 2, making a lot of changes this year, so we're looking forward to seeing what happens. We'd like to thank Miss Arkisha and Little Dizzy's Cafe for sponsoring us. This is one of the best restaurants in the city of New Orleans, in the 6th Ward. Come over, I'm telling you. And I hope a lot of people just come by. We had last week, They had Essence Fest, and I'm telling you, it was
Great
packed.
success. Great
Oh
success.
my goodness.
So if you're in the area, come and see us at 1500 Escalade Avenue in the heart of Tremay and experience some of the best Creole soul food you'll ever have in your life. Because the food is always.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
All right, folks, as we kick off tonight's football game, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important as a winning playbook, your financial future. Kaylin Parker, a financial advisor with Magnolia Wealth Strategies, is here to help you stay financially fit off the field. From retirement and estate planning to investment management and even insurance needs, Kaylin Parker is here to help you. Reach out to Kaylin at 504-613-2161 or at cparker@financialguide.com.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please like, subscribe, and